Righto, next up is, I think, the Vostok System, because Exo-Geni, the corporation that exploited Pharos, seems to be somehow linked to Cerberus. I'm not entirely sure. We do have a quest regarding Exo-Geni in the Vostok System though, so let's go there. Klomathu has a reducing atmosphere of methane and nitrogen. Why is it reducing? The surface is hot and mainly composed of sodium. So much sodium everywhere. With deposits of uranium. In terms of size and orbit, Klomathu is a virtual twin of Earth, but utterly lacks life. One Earth year radius and day length very similar, as are the atmospheres and the gravity. It is way too hot though. Looks kinda cool. Next up, Nodacrux.
Looks like we've got an active distress beacon on the planet below, Commander.
Oh.
No message, just a locator signal.
That's the one we can land on. It also seems like it's very habitable. This one's 95 degrees, right, with an Earth-like atmosphere, so assuming Nodacrux has a similar mass and atmosphere, and it's a bit further away from the star, I suppose, the temperature could be very temperate on there. Let's check the asteroid belt for resources. There! Palladium. Okay. Elko. The geological properties of Elko have been scanned from orbit, but little else is known about it. A fairly typical mixed outer system terrestrial of rock and ice, Elko has a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its crust is composed of silicates and water ice with deposits of aluminum. Unregistered starship traffic has been recorded in the vicinity of this planet. Travel is not advised, so pirates? Pretty cold, almost no atmosphere. Pataton. A rather small hydrogen-helium gas giant. Pataton's atmosphere contains large quantities of chlorine. Survey. Matriarch Delinaga's writings. Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but like true to real life, but in this game every star seems to have like at least one asteroid belt, 1 to 2 asteroid belts, and between like 3 and 5 planets surrounding it, with that being 1 or 2 gas giants, 1 or 2 terrestrial planets, and 1 or 2 dwarf planets or something. I don't know if that's true. I remember hearing, maybe that's wrong, but I don't think so. I remember hearing the majority of stars don't actually have any planets surrounding them in the galaxy, and those that do mostly just have 1 or so. But maybe those systems wouldn't be interesting and we just wouldn't travel there in this galaxy, right? Just travel to those that have a bit more going on. So Nodacrux is a verdant world, as we can see, with abundant water, temperate climate, a thick nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, and a rich ecosystem, which seem to be perfect for life. The relatively high percentage of oxygen makes humans feel energized and alive, though it has also allowed insect analogues to grow to frightful sizes. Unfortunately, Nodacrux is a case of almost not quite. Thunderstorms are as common as on Earth, but Nodacrux's thicker oxygen-rich atmosphere, they're deafening and spark constant wildfires. Seems like a problem you could get under control, right? More damning, however, are the large and ubiquitous tufts of pollen that float on the high-pressure air. In humans and other oxygen-breathing species, they cause severe or lethal allergic reactions. Okay, couldn't you inoculate against that or something? Pretty similar to Earth. Yeah, very high pressure though. 23 degrees, pleasant gravity. This seems like a problem that could be overcome through planetary engineering. Also, prize question, are we gonna be wearing helmets on this world, or are we gonna expose ourselves to the pollen? Pollen, I suppose. Right, why do I see enemies right away? Is that giant insects? So let's have a look at our quest here. Exo-Geni facility. So you've received a generic distress call coming from a small research facility founded by Exo-Geni in the Maroon Sea cluster. I think we found this on the Citadel, right? In the Vostok System of the Maroon Sea cluster. Head there and find out what's going on. Investigate the facilities on the planet Noracrox and the Vostok System for clues. Okay. We'll look for clues. Can do. That's a lot of red. Is it husks again? No, it's Thorian creepers. Wow, and they survive a shot from the Mako cannon. That's pretty intense. Can we go inside? Before we do that, let's kill... Oh. Oh, come on. Damn, they're durable. So I see a mineral there. Okay, let's do this one while we're at it. Okay. This is one of those rough ones, right? Ah! There we go. This minigame's getting old, I gotta say. Yeah, we're wearing the helmet. Makes sense. So can we go inside? This seems like it's a space station module that had an unwanted orbital re-entry or something of the kind. Can't get inside though, huh? Yeah. Okay. So let's check that mineral deposit then. Where are we going after this? Just straight there, I suppose. This is probably quite the climb here, huh? Can I even make it? Not so sure. Alright. Right. What's happening there? Well, this is one of those cases where it's probably best to actually beam back up to Normandy, right? After this. What's that, gold? Yeah. So yeah. Let's do that. I think it's actually faster. Get that unskippable cutscene and the loading screens, but it should still be a lot better than actually having to climb over these mountains again. And that one's still charted. What do we have here? Thresher more? Question mark? It's been a while since we fought one. Maybe an extra large Thresher more, because this is such a nutrient-rich, high oxygen environment, huh? Brings about megafauna. Ah, doesn't look like a Thresher more. What does it look like though? I don't see anything. What? Huh? Oh, recover. Okay. An artifact, I see. Thorian insignia. Right, we're still at max money. Okay. Might actually be best almost to go back to Normandy again, but maybe not. Can I? Can I get across here though? Yeah, maybe this way. Just along the edge of the map. Couple of green patches here. Ooh, this is close though. It always looks less steep from further away. Oh? Oh, yeah. There it is. Can I like sneakily make my way across this? Yeah. Flank of the mountain? Nice. What are you? Burn. Unidentified fauna. Crashed probe. Medical exoskeleton. That's kind of cool. And lastly, the quest location. Ooh, can I not get up? Oh. Man. Can I not get up there? That would be kind of painful. Do I actually have to go through here? Maybe. Or maybe it's like barely possible to get up here, but kind of a pain. I suspect it's something of the sort. I can see the red for the enemies on the radar there. It's so close yet so far. Frustrating. Also, my frames are kind of dropping here. Yeah, seems better now. Ah, I think we made it. Yup. Yeah, this is definitely the other way to get here though, right? It's like up this mountain. Hello. Thorian creepers. Okay. Let's see here. This looks like a bar. Okay, so let's be very defensive again, so we know how dangerous these creepers can be. Okay, that's a good amount of them for
Powering up.
our singularity. Damn, that's so many. Can you, like, do one of those? Master. Okay, I think that worked. Yeah, one of those worlds exploring with a Mako, plus reading its systems, planets, descriptions, and all the interiors in here, takes about half an hour, right? So, I only really... I can't really do more than 2 systems an episode, it seems. Which is quite a slow pace. But that's fine, we have time. It's not like Ilos is a danger to humanity or anything, and Saren is collecting a massive army. But that's the fate of every kind of open world RPG, right? That also wants to tell an engaging story that transports a sense of urgency. It's like, how do you combine these two things? Of wanting to offer to the player a galaxy, a world, a universe full of interesting stuff to explore that they can go and tackle at their own speed and in their own order. But also, there's this super urgent stuff going on that you need to care about now. It's usually quite the dissonance. Like, I haven't really seen any, but that's not a criticism of Mass Effect. I haven't seen any open world game that tackles with this dynamic
Rescuers?
in a meaningful way.
Oh, thank God. See? I told you somebody would come to investigate that signal. My name is Dr. Ross, Chief Exo-Geni researcher at this facility. We've been trapped in this room for days. We're almost out of food and water. You got here just in time.
Not so fast. First, you're gonna tell me why this place is overrun with Thorian creepers.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know about the Thorian?
I know what Exo-Geni was up to. I saw what they let the Thorian do to those colonists, so I destroyed it.
Our secret's out then. No point in my lying. You already know the worst. The creepers here were created using altered samples from the specimens on Pharos. We discovered a way to turn them into docile, obedient servants.
Great.
Everything was going fine until a few days ago. Then all the creepers suddenly went berserk. Only a handful of us made it back into the safety of this room.
So yeah, that's not the same as Cerberus is doing. They're creating husks, right, with the Geth technology, and they're doing creepers with the Thorian technology.
Why didn't you send a clear message asking for help? All we had was that signal from the emergency beacon.
This is a closed communications base. Exo-Geni was worried about someone on the project selling secrets to a rival firm or reporting our work to the authorities. We have no direct communication with the outside, only the emergency beacon. It sends a general distress signal to the Exo-Geni site on Pharos. They're supposed to send a team to respond inside of 24 hours, but it sounds like they had problems of their own.
You could say that. They're all dead. Except for some refugees.
Any chance some of the other people at the base might still be alive?
I doubt it. Too many creepers out there. They never stood a chance. We're the only ones left.
Any idea why they turned on you?
Maybe there was still some kind of link between the creepers and the Thorian back on Pharos. The Thorian was unlike any other life form we've ever studied. I can't explain how, but maybe when it died, it somehow set off the creepers here.
So you're saying it's my fault?
I've heard all I need to.
Look, I know what we did here was wrong. I'll admit that. But it's over now. There's no sense reporting this to the authorities, right?
Yeah, you know what you did was wrong, and you knew it back then, but you didn't stop until it blew up in your face. And I caught you, so somebody has to pay.
Too many people died here. Their blood is on your hands.
Be reasonable. I didn't mean for this to happen. Besides, how does it help anyone if I end up in jail? Normally Exo-Geni would have
We're
me
not
back,
talking about
but
jail.
It sounds like they're going to have their hands full cleaning up the mess on Pharos. But I've got money. A nice little emergency fund I set up. It's yours if you let us go.
Too bad I'm already at max money, quote unquote.
This isn't about money. It's about justice. Blood for blood.
That's not going to happen. Open fire. Open fire!
Right. You're courageous. I mean, guess you have no other choice. Did I at least get Renegade points? I didn't even pay attention to that.
Hold the line!
Exo-Geni's second-rate mercs proved no match for a trained Alliance Marine. Spectre, that is, please. Commander, not Marine. With the last of the science crew dead, there is no reason to linger here. Well, except for grabbing their stuff.
I think we're done here.
Never try to bribe someone who's already at max money. It's a concept so stupid I still can't get over it. Like, how difficult could it have been, like, to adjust the engine so that it can just add a few digits? Is it like a balancing thing with the money? But it's not like we can buy anything for the money that would make us unreasonably strong. So they have to limit our amount of money. It's just immersion breaking. Okay. I could have another look around for minerals, but I don't wanna. Enough time on Noda Crux. So, next up, probably just the last remaining system in this cluster, right? Which is, of course, Caspian. Wait, have we been here? Cornucopia. Oh, that's where we have some quest also, maybe. Antidar. Antidar is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. Its atmosphere is darkened by traces of sodium. It's one of relatively few planets known with an orbital period of more than a millennium. Wow. Insignia. Elma Crux. Elma Crux has an atmosphere of methane and ethane. Despite its great distance from Caspian, the energetic young star heats the surface almost to temperate levels. Thick ground fogs are common at the terminator, where water ice frozen during the long dark side night meets the warm air masses from the day side. The crust is mainly composed of copper with deposits of sodium. Yeah, that's something I always wondered about tidally locked planets that have an atmosphere, right? Is since one side is so much hotter than the other, if there is an atmosphere, there has to be some kind of pressure exchange between the two sides, right? So there must be constant, like, intense air movement, meaning storms on those planets, right? Must be intense. Especially along the Terminator, I would assume. But maybe across the planet. Elma Crux's abundant water and relatively mild temperature and gravity have placed it on the short list of terraforming candidate worlds. However, there is significant opposition from eco-ethics groups who assert that Elma Crux's primitive methanotropic bacteria may be a precursor to full-fledged native ecology. Also very long orbital period. 31 degrees. Is like that something that's determined by the star or like shared across a system? Is orbit lengths or a certain tendency toward longer or shorter ones? And what's the factor that determines or influences that? Interesting to know. Would be interesting to know. Fanuri has a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and helium. The surface is mainly composed of silica laced with iron oxides, indicating that the world had an oxygenated atmosphere at some point in the past. Given the relative youth of the blue star Caspian and the significant gravity well of Fanuri, this must have occurred within with astonishing swiftness, perhaps as a result of some cataclysmic event. Further research is required. Also 300 years. Pretty cold. Even though it's closer, but it does have no atmosphere. And this one had an atmosphere, right? Yeah. Klotanka. Klotanka is a large, low-density terrestrial world with an atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. Its crust is composed of sulfur and unremarkable silicates, occasional deposits of heavy metals, usually the result of meteor strikes the surface. High-speed winds, powered by the hot blue star Caspian, present a constant hazard. Atmospheric entry is hazardous, and EVAs are discouraged. 100 years, similar to Earth, though very hot. Wait, I did survey this one, right? Yeah. And then inside of that is just an asteroid belt. No planets inside the asteroid belt. That's interesting. The cornucopia is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. While obviously adrift, the cornucopia is not broadcasting any distress signal. Ex-solar shipping, Sol. Let's board it. No, not Caden. Okay, what's going on here? Also seems like there's no planet we can land on in this system. As I said earlier, some systems have no planet to land on, and just a ship.
Husks. The ship is probably crawling with them.
Or like a base. Husks again. This system man. Oh my god. This system man. Warp. Any more? Can we... Oh yeah, we can actually. Or? Can I get up there? Mm-hmm. Oh hi! That was probably a bad idea. Okay, let's get this back up. Also this. Is Liara in a space where she can... Yeah, that's very nice, okay. So... Singularity always helps. Oh man, I'm almost dead. Can I heal? Ow! Okay, let's lift them up. Push him. Oh. Damn, there's so many of them. I don't think I can handle them. Probably in this situation here. Yeah, that's a rough one. So I activated too many at once there. Okay. Is that 5 or 6? Also, I should be using overload. For some reason, I was always assuming they didn't have many shields, and I wouldn't be useful. Okay, can I save? No. Oh, I can. Okay. Let's try and not get the whole ship aggroed. Oh. Burn, motherfucker. Okay, no save for me now. Oh! Come back here. There's a quick save. There is more though. That probably doesn't help. Why don't you do a... Yeah. Okay. What's going on here? That's quite a few of those. Ah, I see. Malfunctioning object. How far is it to level? 325,000 of 30,000, so just 5k. We're only getting one more point per level though, it seems, right? Right, so what's going on here?
According to the log files, the ship was out near the Perseus Vale. It seems they found an alien artifact of some kind. They brought it on board and then... This is odd, Shepard. They plotted a course straight into the Perseus Vale, as if they wanted the Geth to find them.
That artifact let sovereigns subvert their free will, like he did with Saren. Why else would they fly into Geth space?
After that, the entries become confused, as if the captain's mind was degenerating. There is no mention of how the ship returned to human territory.
The Geth turned them into husks.
According to the... They brought it on board and then...
That artifact...
After that...
The Geth turned them into husks and left the ship where someone would find it, trying to show us what happens to organics dumb enough to enter the Veil.
Could be. Warning sign. Might not be wrong, Rex. A regular labyrinth here. Okay, return to Normandy. So, we're done with the Maroon Sea now. So, no new systems in here, no. This looks very nice, by the way, Maroon Sea. Where else might we go? We still have something in Attican Beta, which is the Pharos System. Or the Pharos, the cluster where the Pharos System is. Or Pharos the planet is. That is in the Theseus System. But we haven't been in the Hercules System yet. Where supposedly there's something going on. Let's check it out.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
Normandy, this is Alliance Command. We're detecting your presence in the Attican Beta cluster. One of our surveillance drones was gathering intel on Geth activities in the region when it was spotted and shot down. You need to go groundside and recover the drone's data module before the Geth find it.
Okay, so an Alliance data module. We can do that. Thoron is a small rock planet with a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur with deposits of boron. 9.5 years. Pretty small. 64 hours. Very, very hot. Sided. Looks cool. Proximity of the energetic star Hercules causes constant blue and violet aurorae inside its nitrogen-argon atmosphere. During periods of increased solar flares, the aurorae are bright enough to read by on the surface and can be seen with off-the-shelf optics from a distance of several AU. Sided's scorching hot surface is mainly composed of magnesium with deposits of iron. A surprising variety of simple carbon-based life flourishes in a complex network of cave systems that wind through the crust, protected from Hercules' heat and radiation. Yeah, so only in cave systems. 0.4 Earth years. A bit bigger than Earth. Longer day. Lots of pressure and gravity though, and very high temperature. League of One medallion. Eletania. That looks beautiful, and we'll land there, apparently. Zataurus is a hydrogen-helium gas giant with high-level decks of sulfur clouds. A layer of hydrocarbons has formed deeper in the atmosphere. Vast electrical storm fronts can be seen flickering across the dark side. Large deposit of gold on a nearby moon. So we'll land on Eletania for the Alliance data module. Toxic hazard. So it's like the third planet in a row that's pretty verdant and lush. Eletania appears to be a world eminently suited for colonization. Sadly, appearances are deceiving. It is covered by a verdant carpet of mosses, algae and lichen, and possesses a thick oxygenated atmosphere, but the animal kingdom is a web of microscopic symbiotic creatures. These are impossible to filter from the air and necessary for the native life to thrive. Unfortunately, they also cause anaphylactic shock when inhaled by the non-native life. Similar to that other planet we were at too. Nodacrux. In short, settlement requires either fully sealed environment suits or replacement of the entire world's ecosystem. Some have proposed limited colonization at altitudes above the symbiote's range or in areas where favorable winds keep the air clear. Pretty big and high gravity. And for the thick atmospheric pressure, pretty low temperature actually. Kinda sad that it keeps showing us Ashley here. The Ara and Rex. We're landing on the night side, it seems. Okay, let's do this first. How do I even get up there? Through here? Look, you can see the rings. It's kind of beautiful. And the big moon. How far is this? Very far, it seems. Well, it's certainly after these mountains there. Oh, now I can see it on the minimap. Certainly also a case of going back to the Normandy rather than traversing all this with the Mako again. On the way back. Can I creep my way up here? How do I... Oh god. Ooh, what's this? I don't think we've seen anything like this before. It's like a sphere? A mirroring sphere? Prothean ruin. This is fascinating and beautiful. Cover artifact. Examine. Examining this strange Prothean artifact reveals a small irregular slot on the underside. Remembering the strange trinket you received from the Asari consort on the citadel. Wow! You pull it out and place it into the slot. The ball explodes in a brilliant flash of white light, momentarily blinding and disorienting you. Slowly your senses return as you wake from a deep sleep. You're alone in the forest, though you are not far from the caves you share with the others of your tribe. There's a pain and small lump in the back of your skull, as if a chip of flint has been forced under the surface of your skin. Leaning on your bone-tipped spear for support, you rise to your feet. A sound draws your attention upwards, where a strange creature hovers high above you. It is unlike the birds you hunt by the lake's edge. It has no head and no wings, and yet somehow it flies. It is a beast of shining silver, hanging motionless in the sky like a cloud. You sense it is watching you, studying you. This continues. It's like a whole short story. Raising a hairy fist, you shake your spear at it in anger, and the creature rises up quickly until it disappears from view. With a satisfied grunt, you make your way back to your caves and the rest of your tribe. You fall into the familiar patterns of life: the hunt for food, The struggle to claim and keep a mate, the battles against other tribes that would claim your territory, days roll into nights and back into days. Each time you rise from sleep, there is a sensation that you are not alone, that some other is with you and sharing all you see, hear and feel. All these times your hand goes to the strange lump at the back of your skull and you remember the silver creature in the sky. The air grows colder, winter falls, you must range farther for food, clutching the furs tight against you to ward off the chill. It is one of those long hunts that the strange bird returns. You hear it before you see it, its call a deafening roar as it descends from above, swooping down on you. A single great eye opens on the underbelly, a glowing red orb. You try to run, but a finger of red light extends from the eye and engulfs you, and all goes black again. You wake an instant later to find yourself on Eletania lying on your back, the Prothean artifact looming above you undamaged and your companion standing over you. They help you to your feet, puzzled. There was a flash of light and you just sort of toppled over, one explains. Are you okay, Shepard? The other asks. You don't answer right away, wondering at the implications of what you have seen. The memories of a Cro-Magnon hunter, captured by an implanted Prothean data recorder. How long did they study the primitive humans, observing them and analyzing the results in their base on Mars? And what, if anything, did they learn from us? I'm fine, you finally reply, realizing this is a mystery you will probably never solve. Forget about it. Fascinating. Also, it seems like we had the memories of someone for like at least a couple of months, right? And all just in the blink of an eye. That reminds me of one Star Trek The Next Generation episode. I think it's called The Inner Light. One of the best ones, actually. Where Picard... I don't know how it happens exactly, but Picard gets into a situation where he's sucked into the memories, or he's like in someone else's memories or something. Basically, he is dropped into a whole new life as a whole other person. He still has his memories as Picard, and his awareness as Picard, but he's in this new role, and people know him by a different name. He has a family, he has a wife, and so on. He lives in a nice little tight-knit community. And life just goes on. A day passes, then another, eventually a year. And it just so comes to pass that Picard lives this whole life of another person until, like, the ripe old age of 80 or whatever, when he finally dies. And when he dies in that life, he's almost, like, completely forgotten about Enterprise and everything. He's not forgotten, but you know, it's like a distant memory from decades ago. He actually wakes up again, and he's on Enterprise, and like an hour, or maybe like a day has passed in that universe. And he's like, wow, now I'm back here, and I have all this new stuff to go back to now. I lived an entire life, I had a family, decades of life gone. And now I'm back here again. That must be quite the trip. But in the end, I think he's pretty positive about it. He's like, yeah, I got the gift of another life to live, and it was a good life too. I don't know what the exact circumstances were that led to this. If it was like some sort of technology or some mystic artifact or something. I just know that he keeps like in that new life he kept like playing like a certain flute or something, and I think he actually keeps that flute somehow after on Enterprise. I'm not entirely sure how, but as a memento in a way.
This is the surveillance drone, but where's the data module?
A monkey-like creature. Seems to have made off with it. Okay. So...
Guess we're doing this the hard way.
Like how resigned Rex is to this. So how do we, like, made off where though? Where are we going? Oh, man. Monkey colony. Oh, lovely. Okay. That's what you mean by we're doing this the hard way. Running after monkeys. Yeah, that was a cool episode, The Inner Light. Definitely, if you're ever planning to go back to TNG, but maybe not watch the whole series, but only the best episodes, then that's definitely one I recommend.
Nice shot.
This is why you humans have such a violent reputation.
I like that we get Renegade +4 for that. So how do we find out whether this is the place we want to be or not? I guess it's not the place. Or I would have gotten like an audio cue. What's this? Anomaly. Let's go to the next monkey colony. And yeah, just in case you're wondering, no, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all the TNG episodes there are and what happens in every one of them. It's just that The Inner Light is one of my favorite ones, and it made quite an impression on me back then, so that's why I remember it. I've also seen it 2 or 3 times at least. There's a couple others that I know this well, like maybe 5 to 10 of the 150 or so episodes are among my favorites. The monkey doesn't have the module. Okay. Do I have to search every one? This seems annoying. Let's get moving, says Rex. Okay. Ugh, big mountains. Do I wanna go through there, or maybe this is the fastest way? Another one I can really recommend, I mean, we can recommend TNG episodes with Mr. Folderol now, if you want. Another one I can really recommend is called The Drumhead. And I guess I did spoil The Inner Light a little bit, but it's not the unexpected twists and turns that make it great, but actually, you know, Patrick Stewart's acting and just seeing the whole thing unfold. Another one that I'll talk about a little less specifically, I suppose, because how it ends is actually somewhat of a, you know, of an exciting watch to find out, is the Drumhead, where Data, again, I don't know the exact circumstances, but there's some kind of judgment being passed on Data. By something of a military tribunal. from the Federation. And why are you drawing your weapons? And if this tribunal decides negatively, Data's existence might be on the line. And basically what Picard and the Enterprise crew have to do is to prove that Data is an intelligent life form, or is a life form at all, and not just a machine. What's that? They're not saying anything, but it doesn't seem like these monkeys have it. Or is that the measure of a
Someone
man?
give me a hand!
Why am I dying? Oh, because of the level 1 hazard, of course. Okay, let's go back into the Mako. Or is that the measure of a man? Yeah, I think that's the measure of a man. I think I might be conflating two episodes here. Both are pretty good though. One's the Drumhead, that's kind of a military tribunal, and I think it sits over Picard's actions though, actually. And that was also a good episode. Measure of a Man is about Data and whether he is a living being. And it's pretty philosophical. It goes into some interesting arguments as to what constitutes life, what constitutes consciousness. And it's pretty well done. I don't know why I'm thinking about Star Trek so much when playing Mass Effect. But in a way, Star Trek, and especially The Next Generation, symbolizes so much when it comes to the stories that science fiction can tell, right? Well, this one I haven't been at yet. Well, that's the last one, though. And there's so much interesting stuff you can do with science fiction, like matters of justice, like in the Drumhead, justice in wartime, matters of what makes a being sentient and conscious. And yeah, Next Generation, it's so full of like warmth and friendship and optimism, but at the same time like a scientific skepticism and wonder and curiosity is like hard to replicate. And I think Mass Effect captures some of that feeling in its world building, but not at all in its like actual writing or story. I think it's pretty weak in that department, to be honest, now that I'm seeing it again. So where's the stupid module? No monkeys have the module. This one? Discovery! The monkey doesn't have the module. Quite the discovery you got there. Okay, so maybe I just need to go inside here. That's quite the long planet too. This looks like an area where a fight would take place. To be honest, I'm kind of wondering what Liara sees in me, really. You know, her comment earlier where she's like, that's why you humans have such a violent reputation after just gun down these animals with a Mako. Like... what does she see in Shepard? It's like the last
He
monkey.
dropped the data module.
It is a miracle the data module is still intact. Your pilot should be able to relay this info to your superiors.
Okay, we get it then. Lovely. Kill this one too for good measure.
Now it gets fun.
Oh? Why? I knew there would be a fight here. Oh, there's... why is there Geth here? Holy crap. And shock troopers at that. I'm not mentally prepared for this.
Powering up.
It's a destroyer! Lifted. Shove him. No more? I know I certainly wanted to check out this room as well. Yeah, you're shooting the crane. Rex.
All clear.
Nice. Okay.
Think we're good, Commander.
The bass in Rex's voice. It's a thing of beauty. Just following some monkeys around and suddenly Geth. They're outside too. Imagine if they had stolen our Mako. So, we haven't been at this anomaly, which is quite far away. I think I might want to return to Normandy and then come back down again. And after that, it's high time we end this episode. Yeah, that was very much worth it. I was here already, right? Yeah. Key colony. Oh, it's gonna be rough. Wait. Oh, I have been there before, right? That's where the... Right, that's where the sphere was. Right? I think so, yeah. Feel free to end this episode early here if you don't want to come along this ride again with me, but I gotta make sure real quick that's not something... Or is it marked? No, it just says anomaly. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. This is gonna be such a nightmare to get back up again. Ah. Can I get up here somehow? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it is that one. Okay. Then we have seen everything there is to see here. Let's go back to Normandy. Let's end this episode. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.